Hi and welcome everyone. You're watching another 24/7 TBC live broadcast. My name is Paul and this is episode 60 and today's date is June 7th, 2018, and the title of this episode is What Does Eliminating Poverty Look Like? Again, number 2. Okay. TBC is short for the billion coin. And it's a cryptocurrency that has been out for 2 years. Okay, and the difference between this particular cryptocurrency and all the other cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum and Litecoin, the more popular ones, of course, all the other ones that are on a market exchange, is just that fact. They are on a market exchange. And when you have a coin or anything on a market, it can go up and down in price because it can be manipulated due to how many people come in and purchase and how many people come in and sell. Now, the wealthy know this, and they are the ones that created these market systems, the stock market and so on. The coin market cap is no different, okay? It's a central banking system. And so they can come in, and since they are already wealthy, they can buy up as many coins as they want. And that raises the price of the coins on the coin market cap. And when people, regular people like you and I, see that, then we want to invest into those coins and watch that price go up until we've made 10, 20, 30% on our investment, whatever we're happy with, whatever we are willing to risk, and then we can sell them at that profit, okay? And you do that through the trading exchanges, and there's a number of trading exchanges out there. But it is risky because the wealthy still control whether that price is going to continue to go up or whether it's going to go down, because all they have to do is sell their coins and it starts to drop the price of the coin. Okay, let's use Bitcoin as an example because it's the #1 coin on the market exchange. And it's the #1 coin in value and in trading. Okay, so they can turn around and dump is what they call it. It's called pump and dump. They buy is the pump and then they sell is the dump. Okay, so when they sell on purpose, then the price goes down, and the people, if they're lucky enough, because it can happen so fast, because they do it together. Okay, they've been doing it for decades and decades. So they're really good at doing what they do, which is taking the wealth of the people and putting it into their hands so that they can stay in control of the population. They do it here in our country, and they do it in all the countries of the world, mostly. Okay, so the price starts to go down, and the masses of people are beginning to panic or worry and say, oh my gosh, I better sell before I actually lose some of my original investment or lose it all. And so they sell. That continues making the price of the coin go down further and further, and a lot of people lose. They sell their coins, or they just lose their coins back into the system. Either way, those coins that the masses of people have lost or sold, try not to lose all of their investment, and back up in the system. And then when the price is low enough, the wealthy will buy back their own coins that they sold raising the price slowly up, and they'll start to additionally buy all those extra coins that you guys lost, we lost, if we got caught in it, okay? And this is how they end up with all the wealth. They dump, we lose, they take, and they buy it all up until they own all the coins. And I'm just using the coin market cap and the cryptocurrency field as an example. But they do this with stocks and other things, whatever's on a market. Okay, so our coin and the creators of our coin, again, the billion coin, never ever intended to have our coin on a market. So just like Bitcoin when it started was just out there, okay? It just got created. The creator called himself Satoshi Nakamoto. He decided he was going to create 21 million coins, 21 million Bitcoins. That's it, no more. There's your supply and demand. And then with the proof of work, the POW from the miners that actually take the time to create a coin on the blockchain platform that he invented, basically. There's your value. Okay, there's your value right there, both those things. Okay, and it was a small enough amount, 21 million, and I believe they've already got about 17 million coins out there. So the other 4 million are still being mined, and I believe he's got it set up so that they can be mined over a certain period of years. But the majority of the coins are there already, okay? But he didn't want to make it too much because he wanted it to show value as fast as possible because he was the first one. His coin was the first one. He needed it to succeed. He wanted it to succeed so bad that he actually stepped away 2 years later in 2011 and said, here it is, guys, it's yours. You don't have to worry about me coming back and changing any plans. You know, I'm not going to come back and say, okay, instead of 21 million, let's make it 42 million coins. That would decrease the value of the coin right there. And all you guys would have worked for, you know, half the price of what you thought you were working. Okay. So it gave confidence. It gave confidence to the miners and the owners that this coin was always going to hopefully go up in value. But those payment processors that were dealing with the coin in the beginning ended up turning into exchanges because more coins started to come out. People said, okay, wow, let's just take this blockchain platform and create our own coin. So they took the same platform, you can call it 1.0, and they created other coins. And except for Ethereum, Ethereum has a separate type of system, but I don't know much about it. But anyway, it's good as far as I know. But anyway, the point is, Bitcoin over the years, and it's been 8 years now, 8 or 9 years, since 2010 is when it really started. So yeah, almost, you know, we're going on 8.5 years. Became more and more popular because of the exchanges. So in that sense, it was good. Okay, it started to help raise the price because before that, every transaction was just between Bitcoin owners. Okay, it was just peer-to-peer. Hey, will you accept Bitcoin for this, whatever you've got? Oh, Bitcoin, yeah. If they understood it, it was money. It is money. It just had to get out there, and the people had to learn about it to realize this is actually money. So, in fact, it's like gold, or like silver, or like platinum, or like precious stones. Okay, it's not going to be worthless ever, like the fiat currency that we are on and have been on since 1971. That's when we here in America were taken off the gold standard and our currency completely became valueless. Complete fiat is what they call that. Fiat cash, fiat currency, no longer money. Okay, so Since then, they've just went crazy. The central banking system, the Federal Reserve, okay, bank is a private bank that took over our government's monetary system back in 1913. Okay, so our coin has been out there for 2 years, the billion coin, not on a trading exchange. So people weren't aware of it, because when you're dealing with Bitcoin and you're trading, or even if you're not trading, but you get involved, you realize, oh yeah, there's all these other coins. Well, maybe I should buy some of these other coins because they look like they could go up in value and I can make some pretty good money, especially from ICOs. Those are initial coin offerings. If they're legit and they're not a scam, then you can buy right at the beginning, and then when it does get put on the trading exchange after that initial coin offering, it at least doubles almost every time. At least doubles, and then it starts to go back and forth, up and down. Okay, so people, can go in and make some money if they know what they're doing. Okay, but other than that, again, Bitcoin has struggled to have its own economy. Now, it does have a small economy, right? You can buy things with Bitcoin. Those of us who are aware of what Bitcoin is and cryptocurrency is can find places that accept Bitcoin all over the place, all over the world. And we can purchase things, but there's a limit. And the merchants aren't exactly coming on board Bitcoin in droves, because the price goes up and down. They know that if they accept the Bitcoin, say $100 worth that day for their merchandise or their service or whatever, tomorrow that $100 might be worth 80. And if they have to turn around and buy product again or whatever, they've taken a loss on somewhere, their profit maybe, obviously. Okay, so these individuals that take it already understand that they're just going to put it in their wallet, okay, because it's a private wallet. It's not a bank account. I mean, they're like bank accounts in the sense that that's where you hold your money, is in a thing online in a cloud called your wallet, your cryptocurrency wallet. It's completely private, okay? So they put it in there and they just let it sit, because they know 12 months later it's going to go up in value due to supply and demand. It's always going to go up in value over time. Meanwhile, it goes up and down, up and down, up and down. Okay, so, but they don't have to worry about it because they're looking long term. Okay, they understand how the system works. And for those that can do it, that's very smart of them to do it, because it will go up in time. Every 12 months, it's almost 100% that it's going to be worth more than it was 12 months back when they accepted it. Now, what makes us different is that we don't have that problem. We don't have that volatility in our prices, in our value. So what do we base our value on? Well, we call it the billion coin because we're going to make a billion coins. Okay. And that's all, not a billion one, but just 1 billion. So there's your supply and demand, but it's enough now to supply the entire world with complete and total abundance. It's enough to eliminate poverty, because that was the driving force behind our developers of our coin to create this coin. Bitcoin is not going to be enough. With 21 million only, it's not enough, okay, to eliminate global financial poverty. Okay, but it was a start, and it had to start that way. Okay, and that's fine. Okay, Bitcoin will be around for a while. Now, over a long term, we're talking decades, you may not, but for the next 30, 40, 50 years, I'm sure it will be. Okay, but technology, it changes, as you know, and things move at lightning speed. And if you don't stay on top of things, and if there isn't a way to certainly control things, then just new things end up coming out. Okay, so that's where I'm, using logic to just understand how things will be. We saw last year, and we've seen it before with Bitcoin, where they were doing so many transactions, because when you're trading, each trade is a transaction. And that system that they're on could only handle an average of about 7 transactions a second. Okay. So that was another limitation that 1.0 platform has. So when it slowed the system down, because there is more Bitcoin now being transacted, being exchanged, it was taking longer and longer for those to be validated over the blockchain. Okay, it's not instant like Visa and MasterCard. They're not super instant, but they can do 2,000 average transactions per second compared to 7. Okay, so you really need a system that can deal with cryptocurrency as fast as just pure digital currency, like Visa or MasterCard. You see what I'm saying? So as far as I know, we are the only and the first ones to have done that. We have worked for months on a blockchain 2.0, and it's done. And we are now migrating over to that right when I'm speaking right now. Okay. We started right after, we started last month. Okay. And we've been migrating, and we are currently migrating, and we'll probably finish, we will finish migrating on July 31st. Okay. We have 3.2 million people that members of our private community that have coins or pieces of coins, which we call Kringles. Like pieces of Bitcoin is called Satoshi. We have pieces of our coin, which is called Kringles, because the admin, the one person that deals with us over the blog system, okay, even though it's a team, he calls himself Kris Kringle because he's Santa Claus. He's giving the gift away. Here's how our value works. We reference our value to the value of gold. We used to reference it to the euro or even the US dollar when we started out 2 years ago. And it was that way until we've gotten to this growth and gotten to the point where now we can have a super fast blockchain platform that can do transactions as fast as Visa and MasterCard. That's a game changer in this industry. Okay. That means merchants have just one more reason to accept TBC now over Bitcoin or any of the other coins. Because 2 things, our coin never goes down in value, it only goes up. Every day it goes up in value. It has for 2 years. Why? Because we base it on membership. When a person joins our community, they fill out their name and an email address, a good, real email address, because they will get, in the beginning, right when they register, they'll get 2 or 3 emails that will probably end up in their spam because they're not used to getting emails from us. And you would just open those emails up, a person would, a new member, and click on the confirmation links. They're hyperlinks. You just say, click here to validate or activate or confirm. You click that on, and then it sets up you into the system. It registers you. It sets up your wallet, creates a wallet for you where it will put your gift of what we call cookies. Okay. Kringles are real coins, but we will put cookies into your account, which you can redeem during a redemption month, and we have them twice a year, okay, in May and in November, where you just push a button in your back office. That's your third website. It's called Kringle Cash back office. It's like your own website that gives you everything you need to be a member of our community. Okay. And you can control things from there. It gives you your own link, so you can turn around and hand that link out to your family members and your friends so that they can get the gift. So anyway, that gift is put into your wallet in the form of cookie points. And then in May and November, you can push a button that says redeem. Okay. And they will disappear from your Kringle back office, and they will show up in your wallet as Kringles. Okay. The same value of Kringles. So the gift right now is 25,000 cookie points, equal to 25,000 Kringles. And when a member joins, each new member, it raises the value of our coin, the actual TBC billion coin. Okay, it used to raise it by €1. So every person that came in raised the price by €1. 500 people came in that day, and the price of the coin went up 500 euros. Okay, so if it went up, if 5,000 came in or 10,000, it went up. So that's why our coin is the most valuable coin in the world. Okay, a current price of our coin right now is 8,400,000 per coin in US dollars. But we value it now on grains of gold or gold. So each person that comes in, instead of them raising the value of our coin by €1, it raises the value of our coin by 1 grain of gold. And a grain of gold at today's price is $2.80. So basically we doubled the value of our coin just by switching over to gold. Okay, so that's why we have such an amazing coin, because it never goes down in value, because it's based on you and me. The most valuable things in the world are humans. And you can sign up a day-old baby, or you can be the oldest person in the world and sign up, and you have the same value. Okay? Basically, your value is unlimited. It's priceless. We can't put a price on us as a human being. Okay, so that's how our coin was set up. It's on an algorithm. It just automatically does these things. We were the first that came out that was what we call an abundance-based coin, which means it always goes up in value, never goes down. So that's an abundance-based coin. That coin has the power to eliminate global financial poverty. And we are so used to not even comprehending what that really is, or how that could really look like. Some of us, those of us who are greedy and selfish, don't even want that, which is fine. You won't join our community, okay? Because we want like-minded people to join our community. Now, we call ourselves the Billion Coin for 3 reasons originally. We're just going to make 1 billion coins. And when we get to our first billion members, the price of that coin maxes out. And of course, under the euros, it would have maxed out at 1 billion euros. So there was 3 real reasons to call it the Billion Coin right there. Okay, all designed exactly to be that. But now, of course, if we had 1 billion members right now, we'd have a full world economy. Everybody would be using Kringles as money. If it, it doesn't matter what other monies are out there. If they're money and they're valuable, they'd be used along with Kringles. You see what I'm saying? Money doesn't compete with money. There could be as much money in different forms. You can, if they had gold coins again and people were carrying gold coins around with them, they can use that as money. Okay. So this is what countries are doing all over the world. They're either repatriating or they're backing their currency up by gold, which is what Russia has already done with the ruble and what China has already done with the yuan. And now they're buying everything with the yuan instead of the US dollar, which has been, well, it still is the reserve currency of the world, but not for long. Because countries are tired of using a currency that has no value. They're tired of the bankers that create this currency and control their people, their politicians, and their countries. And then they get to put sanctions on these countries and starve them to death, like they did with Venezuela. And they could do all kinds of horrendous things, like go into those countries and take all their resources and leave the people in complete poverty. Okay, and we know the problems of poverty. Disease comes with poverty. Not all diseases, obviously, but a lot of disgusting diseases. Okay, poverty creates horror, pure horror, and of course, death, misery and death. But the central banking system, the central bankers, they don't care at all about human beings. Okay, and we just have to realize that. Those of us that have our eyes open know that. I mean, just look at our history and see what's gone on. Because almost all wars, terrorism, crime due to lack is created by these central bankers, okay? And their operatives, which are called, we call them the deep state now, okay, which is the intelligence communities of the world, okay? So that's their strong arm, okay? But they're currently losing the battle because countries are fed up with okay, that's the problem. We Americans look bad all over the world because our corrupt government for decades have been doing their thing because they're owned by the central banking system, which is sitting right here in America. It sits in London too, but it sits here in America with the Federal Reserve Bank, okay, with the United Nations, okay? And it's out there with the International Monetary Fund. It's out there with the European Central Bank. It's out there, okay? But they're losing control because we are at a time in history where technology is now so good that this blockchain technology has been invented and it's giving the people their power back. And we didn't even know we didn't have power or we lost it. We just were born, right? I was born. My parents were born under that same system. It got worse under my system, under my age, my generation, because in 71, they took us off the gold standard, okay? And they started to form that petrodollar. Of course, in 73, they told us, oh, there's a shortage of oil too, which was a bunch of, lies. But we got through that. And then they threw out the plastic on us, right? The credit cards. And the 80s were great until the 90s hit us and we realized, oh my gosh, we're in debt. Okay, but here's the crazy thing, people. The country is in debt by $22 trillion. Why? It's not in our Constitution that anybody else is supposed to control our money. We're supposed to make our own money. We're never supposed to be in debt to anybody. Why are we the people in debt? See, this is a thing. With the central bankers in control, with them lending money, now their money, to the government and charging interest, and the government has to get that interest from the people, so they create the income tax. Another unconstitutional situation, okay? And this is what we've been under for decades. But the world has been under these bankers have been influencing and getting their way for centuries, okay? It's the monarch system. It's the kings and the queens, and then the rest of the people are peasants, right? Okay, so they just followed us over, my ancestors over from England, who were getting away from that system. That's why they came. They wanted freedom of all kind, not just freedom of religion. They wanted freedom of finances, of wealth, of abundance, okay? And my ancestors came over from Europe, so they landed on the East Coast. Okay, the Spaniards were already over on the West Coast. And, we just kind of met in the middle. I'm just kidding. But no, that's the way it happened. Okay. There was nothing here but some people, which we call Native Americans, but there was no country here. So we were settlers. Okay. We weren't immigrants. We were settlers, not we, but my ancestors that came from Britain and France. Okay. So we lost that, our monetary system, over the decades as we became a country. Okay, they got more and more powerful, and they found ways to get in, and it was harder for us to get rid of them. And in 1913, they came in really strong, and we have not been able to get rid of them since. So for 105 years, they've controlled us without one single period of time where they didn't. Okay, but like I said, we are at a point where that's going to change. And the opportunity is perfect in its timing, as God is perfect in everything he does, right? Okay, so what do I mean by that? Well, the system is so far out of control when it comes to how they just keep making money. Not money, but currency. I mean, seriously, $22 trillion in debt. What does the United States government do when it runs out of money, right? Well, let's just raise the debt cap and borrow some more money from the Fed. And the Fed gives them money. It's basically a bailout. This is what they do in countries that they control everywhere in the world. They keep them on the edge of defaulting on their loans. But right when they get to that point where they're going to default, then they come in and they bail them out. Okay? That's how they stay in control of the people and do whatever it is they want to do. It's a very small group of people, but they've got all the wealth, right? You could do that research. I mentioned it before. We have 7.6 billion people on this earth, and we have only 2,200 billionaires. That's the problem. Okay? Now, our coin, the billion coin, getting back to the billion coin, has a mission behind it. Unlike all the other, as far as I know, all the other cryptocurrencies, how can they have a mission? They're on trading exchanges. Okay. So how can they have control? Anybody can come in and buy whatever amount of coins they want. You can't do that with the billion coin. We started out with a completely different system, a system where we kept partial control. The blockchain is completely decentralized. There's no control over that. And that's the whole point of the blockchain. But we control the wallets, okay, just during our distribution phase. And then we will make those decentralized, because there's no point in keeping control after we've hit our object, which is 1 billion members. Our first billion members, the first billion people on this planet that have Kringles or coins, full coins, wallets. Okay, and by keeping that control, we know and can vet who comes in and buys and how much. And you're starting to see the big picture. Those of you who might be new and are looking at this video for the first time because you found it on YouTube and it said something about something that you had never heard about. What is the billion coin? What is TBC? What is this? What does this elimination of poverty look like? How can that even be? Okay, we're here, we're meaning those of us who are doing these broadcasts, these live broadcasts that just end up staying on our YouTube channels, are getting the word out. And the reason we're getting the word out real strong in the last 2 or 3 months is because we are migrating to that explosively fast blockchain 2.0, which is going to change everything. We're going to blow past Bitcoin in popularity, become a household name within months. So it's time to really step up what we are all about. And the only way you're going to find out about it is, you're not going to find out about it is on the coin market cap. There's no TBC when you go down. You see ETH, that's the Ethereum. You see XRP, that's the banking coin Ripple. It's not even a cryptocurrency. You see, BTC, which is Bitcoin, right there at the top. Bitcoin Cash. okay, because they slowed down and they had to fork off and create another Bitcoin. Okay, that's all they can do to try to keep up with that old 1.0 blockchain platform technology. But technology doubles every 18 months, so it's been 8 years, 9 years. So there's advancements now, and there's going to continue to be advancements. We just happen to be the first coin out there that we have kept some control over. We have a mission, and we can do that mission, and we are doing it. We started out with 171 members, vetted members, like-minded members, unselfish, ungreedy. And we grew our first 12 months from March 2016 to March 2017 to 100,000, just shy of 100,000 members. Okay, which would have been the price of a coin based on the euro at 100,000 euros. Okay, then the second year, we we grew because we started giving the gift out. That was the plan, give the gift out for free. It won't cost anybody a dime. So we grew by 30 times. 100,000 went into 3 million by March of this year, 2018. Now, if we just go 30 times again, we don't go any faster than we did last year, which was our slowest year because we got bogged down. We were doing so much transactions between each other, buying and selling stuff. We didn't even have to be on a trading exchange. We got bogged down on that old system. So, but it was already in the works. The 2.0 was already in the works. The creators of this coin are ahead of the game all the time. And all we've done is gotten better and stronger in the 2 years we've been out. It's just amazing. That's why I'm so passionate about this. Okay, it's real. Not just all those other coins are real too. They are an option to protect your wealth, your fiat wealth. They are an option, just like gold and silver is, right? Precious metals, precious stones. Those are all options to protect your current wealth that may be in the stock market or whatever. Fiat currency, IRAs, your 401s, whatever. Okay, but they're not a solution to eliminating poverty and bringing back abundance to the entire population of the world. They're not. They can't be if they're on a trading exchange. It doesn't mean that they don't have value, though, and they're not real money. The ones that are on a blockchain. Ripple, no. Okay, and I'm not familiar with how Ethereum works, so I haven't bothered to really investigate and do research on Ethereum, but they've got this, what is it called, an EOS or system or something. And it's supposed to be a slightly different than the actual original blockchain creation from Nakamoto, so Satoshi Nakamoto. But the point is, our coin is everything. It's everything. Well, Paul, what do you mean it's everything? Well, it is a solution to poverty. None of these other coins are, but we are. We are the first ones, and there's going to be more coming out. There's one coming out in April 2019 based on an algorithm for its value. So it's not going to be on a trading exchange as far as we know. At least their ICO is not. It's based on an algorithm. Instead of it going up in value every member that joins, it's every member that buys. Every member that purchases their coin raises the value of that coin by a fraction, because you can divide a coin by 100 million, right? So it just raises it up by a tiny little fraction, and the next person that buys has to buy it at a little more than the last person did. It's genius. Again, it's an abundance-based coin. It can never go down in value. That coin will always go up until whatever the algorithm is set for. And I don't know how many coins they're making. I don't know much about it, but it is the Telegram messaging service, which already has 200 million members worldwide using their free chatting app, because it's 100% private. It's 100% private. Nobody knows what you're chatting about on Telegram. Not even Telegram knows what you're chatting about. So yes, the people, you know how we are. We love social media. We love being able to communicate with each other and stay in touch. So why not stay in touch privately? Boom. Telegram came out in 2013. Here it is 5 years later. They got 200 million members. Okay. We've been out with our coin for 2 years and we only have 3.2 million because cryptocurrency is a different animal than social media, right? It's like, what is cryptocurrency? What does it do for me? Can I communicate? Is it a social media? No, it's money. What do you mean money? I've got money. No, you really don't. You know, and then we have to educate the people. But the ones that are interested get educated and they get ahead. Okay, like the ones who bought Microsoft back in the day. Okay, they saw it, we didn't. Well, I didn't. Okay. So that's why I never became a multimillionaire with Microsoft stock, because I didn't understand the internet and what Microsoft was or had to offer. But there were a ton of people that did. Okay. So our job as members of our community is to get the word out that, hey, here we are now. We've been out for 2 years. We're not going away. We're never going away. We have a mission. We can stick by that mission because we have control. We are looking for like-minded people, 1 billion like-minded people, 1 billion unselfish, ungreedy individuals in the world. If you just took a religion like Christianity, okay, all Christians should be unselfish and not greedy, right? I mean, that. Obviously, it's a work in progress. Okay, it doesn't instantly, being a Christian doesn't instantly make us unselfish or ungreedy, but we know that's what we're supposed to do. So an ideology like Christianity is good if you take it straight from the Bible, okay, and not listen to people that are going to tell you this is what it means when they're out to get your money anyway. Okay, so how big is the Christian community in the world? Well, it's supposed to be the largest religion in the world. I think there's 2 billion, okay? 2 billion something. So if just all the Christians came in, we could be 1 billion just like that. Now, if all the Muslims came in, we'd be at 1 billion just like that. The Muslims should be the same way. Okay, they base their ideology supposedly on the Old Testament, which has those same morals and values. Don't be greedy. Don't be selfish. Okay, the Buddhists and the Hindus, I don't see a problem. If they're not greedy and they're not selfish, come on, we want you. Here's what I always say. If the patriots, just the patriots of the world, people who love freedom, love their countries that they live in, want to stay in those countries because their countries are good. Well, obviously, a lot of countries are not good because they're being controlled by that central banking system. But if they're patriots, they don't want that. They're already aware, but there's nothing they can do. Right? We, the patriots, haven't had anything to do until we got Trump to come along, who was the first since Reagan that hasn't been paid and bought for by the central banking system. Reagan, it just wasn't the time yet. There wasn't even an internet yet. And things were so solid and structured by the central banking system that Reagan did the best he could, but he couldn't get rid of that system. John F. Kennedy, on the other hand, okay, the Patriots, again, got him barely a win with Nixon. Just barely won. Just like Trump barely won against Hillary. Okay? Reagan, on the other side, it was a landslide because people just really were disgusted with the 4 years of Carter. At least that's what I understand. But anyway, Kennedy got a lot more done. than Reagan, it was just because of the way the system was back in his day. It wasn't as strong, it wasn't as structured, okay? There were a lot of patriots that got behind him. He didn't want to go into Vietnam in a war. Of course, the central banking system, that's how they live, is by war. They own the war machine. They make money off war. Chaos, misery, disease, everything that is out there. They own and control everything, okay? Because they've got the money. They've got the wealth. They've stolen the gold, the silver, everything. That's what Kennedy was doing. He was trying to keep the dollar on the silver, at least, and keep it on gold. But they were already trying to take the silver away. That was the first thing. Take the silver away and then take the gold. So anyway, we know what happened with Kennedy, but he got him a lot more done, okay? And that's what scared the creeps out of the central bankers. You know, first of all, he wasn't supposed to win, and Nixon just went crazy. And but you know, Nixon waited. He waited around for his second chance, and he got it. You know, after Lyndon Johnson was done, he got it. Unfortunately, for Robert F. Kennedy, or not well, Robert Kennedy, I don't want to remember his middle name, but Robert, his brother, decided to run at the last minute to see if he could get the Democratic nomination, and the people were just so behind him that Nixon just freaked out. Oh, wait a second, I'm not going to lose to another Kennedy. No way. So they didn't even let him live long enough to win the Democratic nomination. Okay? So this is reality. We know these things, right? We may not understand it all, and it may be really horrible to even imagine and think, well, is that really what happened? I thought just some crazy man named Oswald killed John F. Kennedy from the 6th floor of a building, book depository building. I thought Sirhan, just on his own, killed Robert. Okay, that's fine. It helps us get through life, right? Because if we knew the truth, we'd go bonkers, okay? And that's just, any psychiatrist or psychologist will tell you that. Or if you're doing your own study, you'll find out. Okay, there's certain people that are made by God that can handle more than others. Okay, hang on a second, let me get rid of that. I think it's coming through my computer, hang on. Okay, it seemed to have gone away. Okay, yeah, so we see it in veterans. We see some people go into combat and war and see the worst things you can imagine, or even can't imagine. And they come back and they deal with life fairly well. Okay, there's quite a few of those, if that makes sense, if that's not an oxymoron. Quite a few. But the majority come back with what they now label PTSD, right? Because it just messes their head up, because they see stuff that they can't comprehend. They see horror that's just like, why? How could there even be a God if he's allowing this to happen? God doesn't allow anything to happen. He's the cause of it, but we can't even comprehend that because we don't understand who God is. Okay? Because we're blind. Just like we don't understand how the central banking system is controlling the world because we're blind to it. Okay? And we can't open our eyes by ourselves. God has to open those eyes to us. Open our eyes. Okay? But that's okay. Okay? It's all going to be awesome. It's all going to be awesome in the end. Okay? And you will thank God someday for everything that he did in your life. Okay? Now, back to our solution. If you can even comprehend that there can be an elimination of poverty throughout the world, if you can just take it at a small period, a small time, or a small piece of it and say, can we eliminate poverty in the city I live in? I live in the Las Vegas area. Okay. We've got the tents on the sidewalks, you know, down in the areas where the homeless, you know, settle. Just like in Los Angeles, Orange County, where I'm from, Los Angeles, San Gabriel Valley, we've got people that are homeless everywhere in the United States. So if you just take one city, one metropolitan city, And we say to ourselves, can we eliminate poverty in this city? Well, yeah, you can. Because here's what a country is doing. Here's what countries are doing around the world. Let's take Venezuela as an example, right? You got this Maduro guy who came from the Chavez dynasty. And he's a socialist, okay? He's a dictator. He runs his country as a dictator, okay? But the central banking system has their money in there and always has, because they produce a tremendous amount of oil and they sell their oil. So they use that petrodollar. So when Venezuela wasn't going along with the central banking plan, and the central banker said, okay, we're going to sanction your oil. We're not going to let you guys sell your oil. How about that? Okay, so what happened? The people starved to death. The people starved to death. You don't have to believe me, just look it up. Okay, so the government had to do something. Okay, so they created a cryptocurrency. That's what they did. They called it the Petro coin. It's on a blockchain. Okay, as far as I know. Maybe it's just digital cash or digital currency, but the point is, I don't know how they have it set up, but I do know that that's what they came out with, and they're backing it. They backed it with their oil. The only problem was they couldn't sell the oil. So the people didn't have full faith in that coin. So it was moving very slowly. So the government said, hey, we have our gold right here in our country. So instead of backing it by oil, we're going to back it by gold. How's that? That's working. Now they have a way to go around those criminal sanctions put out by the central banking system, okay? Through the use of our corrupt U.S. government, okay? Which is becoming more uncorrupt every single day because of Trump and the Patriots. We are in a period like John F. Kennedy was when he came in. We're in that period. It's a golden period. Only we have this technology now that's going to make all the difference in the world. We are getting rid of the deep state. We are getting rid of the central banking system. We're going to crash the economy on purpose. It's going to crash even if we didn't crash it on purpose. It would crash because the system has run out. It runs out about every 40 years. After 1913, they came in and ran out like right after World War II. And then it ran out like right around 70. Right? That's when they changed the system again, took us off the gold and turned it into a petrodollar, and then told us there was no petrol. God. And now it's been about 40 years, right? And we see this bubble. Well, they don't show it. You're not going to find this from the mainstream media, okay? But it's out there everywhere on the internet. So anyway, the coin is working in Venezuela. They're already making deals with the Palestinians. There's another group of people, a state of individuals that genocide has been committed on by Netanyahu for decades and his cohorts. Okay, again, not the people, not the Israelite people, okay? Just like the American people, we're not responsible for the crap that our corrupt government / central banking system has been doing. That's why the world hates America. We walk around and go, why? Why is it I can't go into other countries right now? Because, you know, Americans are like, ah. You know, it's just common sense, people. Use common sense and logic and you'll realize why they hate us. And it's because of the central bankers that control and own our politicians. How about we have the money back in our hands? That's what the billion coin Kringles is. We want to give it to you. We want it in your hands so bad, because if it's not in your hands, we're not going to get our mission done. We're not going to achieve our mission. We're not going to raise the value of our coin without you. Okay? If we can buy our politicians back, then we have control of our government, which is what the Constitution was set up to be. then we can do anything we want. That's what the elimination of poverty looks like. Just take it one step at a time. It took me one step at a time. I've been involved for over a year with the Billion Coin. Okay. Now I had kind of a head start because I've always been knowledgeable about the central banking system. Okay. Since I was a kid, and that's a long story, but anyway, but there was nothing I could ever do about it. Okay. And you and I, the regular US citizen, what can we do about it unless we're literally working with somebody that's trying to make a difference? Those patriots that are literally working with Trump and those good politicians, those good generals, those good whatever they are, all over the world. We'd love to be one of them if we could, right? But we can just sit and watch and thank God that this is where it's going. Thank God that this is what we're seeing now for the first time in decades. We're seeing a president that's creating peace in the world instead of war. Okay? But there could be a rough period. There's going to be rough periods because central banking system, they're not going to go down without a fight. And they don't give a, like I said, they don't care about humanity or human lives. They'll do anything and everything to lie to you, to scare you, to create emotion in you. Because once they got emotion in you, they control you. Once you're afraid that you're theirs, they've got you. Oh, you're afraid? Well, we'll take care of you. You just got to do this. You just got to give us that. You just got to do this and that for us. And you'll be okay. Okay, so our coin represents a vehicle for the average person now, the average patriot. That's what I consider myself. I've always been a patriot. To do something, literally do something to change that whole entire system. That is the full picture of eliminating poverty. It changes the whole political system of the world. It eliminates the need and the use of banks, of central banks. We don't need their money. We need our own money. Because when we have our own money, we can do anything we want. Okay, I've talked enough. Actually, I did want to go over real fast, if you'll hang in there with me, one of the latest posts on the blog by admin. See if I can find it. Okay, what is the difference between a redemption period and Kringle distribution? Let me go ahead and share my screen so we can go over it real fast. Okay, hang on while that does that. Okay. All right, so here it is. This came out today, the 7th. Starts out saying, what is the difference between a redemption period and a Kringle distribution? And I touched on that earlier about how you get cookies for free. Okay, when you join, you get cookies that are worth, well, it's going to show you. Just let me read this. Okay. He says, what is the difference between a redemption period, which is what we had in May, and we've extended it because we're doing this migration at the same time. It's still going on until the 15th of June. Okay, so you could still actually get in right now if you're watching this literally on the 7th and get your gift and actually redeem it for real Kringles instead of having to wait till November. Okay, he answers that question, nothing. Okay, and then he says, admin distributes Kringle coins as gifts and rewards twice a year during the months of May and November. And this is done through a redemption process to convert cookies into coins. 365 days a year, admin issues members cookies according to the activities admin has assigned value to do. The gift that is valued at 0.00025, which is basically 25,000 Pringles, TBC is given as cookies. Okay, not actual Pringles, they're given as cookies, which is a point system. Okay, and later, during a redemption period, is converted into Kringle coins. Okay, so all of us who had all these cookie points in our back office during the month of May, we had the opportunity to just hit that redeem button and turn those cookies into real Kringles that got deposited in our wallet. Okay, and then after we did that, then we can migrate onto the new system. Okay, so it's a very simple process. Now, those of you that are coming in that would be coming in new are automatically going to be put right on the new system, the new blockchain. Okay, so it makes it real simple. And then you'll be given your cookies, right, in your back office of your Kringle Cash site. And when November comes, if you've missed the one that ends on June 15th, then November 1st, and any time during that month, you'll be able to hit that button that will show up at that time that says redeem, and you will get it into Kringles into your wallet. Okay, so he goes on and he says, coins are spendable and cookies are not spendable. Okay, so he's just reminding us that cookies are just a point system. They're not actual Kringle coins. Okay. The receiver of this gift must understand the monetary value of this gift. Today, 25,000 cookies or Kringles is worth $2,124.40. Okay, $2,124.40 today. That free gift is. It's a free gift still. Okay, the only difference is now we have to charge. We don't have to, but we decided to charge $10, okay, as a fee and it's an annual fee. Okay, so it covers a whole year of your back office, you know, the server costs, but, you know, it's really, let me just tell you guys that are new, the TBC creators, the creators of our coin, are self-funded. They've never asked us for anything. They've never asked us for a dime of our money. Okay, we have had to purchase our coins from other members since he first gave that little, I guess you could call it an ICO, to those 171 people that started out. Everybody had to come in and buy from them and then duplicate. Admin has never sold a coin since then. It's not how our system works. Okay, he has coins, but he can't spend them unless he does like all the rest of us does. Make deals. Hey, you want to accept TBC? Here's the deal. You know, it's going to go up in value until it hits blah, blah, blah. You know, if I give you $100 for something, it's going to go up to, you know, whatever. And so not only that, but he gives the gift away. And not only that, but he gives all kinds of gifts away. He'll give you a full coin away. A full coin is worth $8.4 million right now. It's going to end up being worth $2.8 billion if the price of gold stays the same in 2 to 3 years when we get to our billion people. The gift itself, let me go on with this article, this post. Okay, today he's saying the value is worth $2,124. And that is a wonderful gift of great value. This gift appreciates in value daily, and once we have fully matured with 1 billion members, the value of 25,000 TBC, which is Kringles, okay, because otherwise you'd see something on the right left side of that dot there where it says 0.000. If you saw 1, then you'd have 1 full coin. Okay, and we'll be worth about $700,000. So see, this gift, as a new individual, a new member coming in our community, which now costs you $10 annually. Okay, but we throw in the wallet for free, and there's no transactions. There's no transactions. There's no transaction fees ever charged. Okay, you can't do that with any wallet you're using any other kind of cryptocurrency with. The miners will always charge a fee for you to transact. A fee, just like when you use your Visa card or MasterCard, sometimes you get charged a fee. You know, the other day I mentioned this in an old video, but you know, I went to, what gas station was it? I'm trying to think of the gas station. I think it was a mobile gas station. Yeah, it was mobile here in America and in the Las Vegas area. And you know, I used my debit card, okay? And it said on there, on the little monitor, you know, we have to charge you 35 cents. Do you agree to that? What was I going to do? Say no? You know, I didn't have any cash on me. My cash is in a bank account. And they can do whatever they want. It's their money. So, of course, I hit yes. I'll accept it. So, instead of 20 bucks of gas or $20.35 of gas, I just got $20 worth of gas. Okay. But the point is, and people could tell me, well, Paul, they have to charge because they have paperwork to do. No, they don't. They're just pushing numbers on a computer. And that's their job. And they get paid for their job, whatever the bank pays them. Okay? The bank is just putting that money in their pocket. It's just one more way of gouging the people. They do it with all kinds of things. Common sense. Okay? So he says, and he's telling us the truth here because this is real. When our coin does get, or when our membership does reach 1 billion, that free gift, okay, that now costs $10 if you want to, you know, you want to be technical about it. But you're going to pay attention to it now because we found out that all the people we gave gifts out to completely free, well, not even a penny to spend, basically didn't really put any value on that gift. And even though that gift is now, let's say we go back a year when it first started, that gift could be worth like $6,000 right now. It started out like less than 20 bucks. We were giving out less than 20 bucks because what? We were at 100,000 members. We grew by 30 times to 3 million. So that price of that went from 20 bucks to $6,000. But they didn't pay attention to it. They didn't care. It wasn't real to them. You know, well, thanks for the gift, but I know it's cryptocurrency. We'll just see what happens. It's only 20 bucks anyway, right? But they knew it was going to go up in value. But anyway, that's what happened. So we are going to change that. We are going to charge $10. And that should be enough to make everybody pay attention. Hey, I spent 10 bucks. I know there's not much. It's nothing. But hey, I spent some money. So now I'm going to watch what's going on with TBC. I'm going to kind of keep in contact with what's going on with this community. And that's what we want. We just need your participation because without you, we can't grow. That's why we're giving the gift away. Okay, but we need you to be serious and turn around and duplicate and tell at least somebody you love so that they can get their free coin. It's going to be worth $700,000 in 2 or 3 years. You don't have to believe, but it's going to be. Okay? We didn't just come up with this yesterday. Okay? We're 2 years old. Our coin went from being worth less than a penny, a tenth of a penny, you know, to now being worth $8.4 million. And we are using it amongst ourselves as money. Okay? Now, he goes on and says that it'll be worth $700,000. Okay, that's 1 billion members at $2.80 value of 1 grain of gold times 25,000 Kringles or cookies as the gift, which you can redeem in Kringles. Okay, so it's the same thing. It's just that if you've decide you don't want anything to do with it for some reason, or you just walk away, we don't lose those kringles with that wallet that's just not being used. You see, we're just losing points that are nothing. So it just helps our system better. We learn from our mistakes really fast. Okay, these guys are really smart, and they're so busy that, you know, but they still stay on top of anything, and one thing after another, they get to everything eventually, and it's amazing. And that's why I'm so passionate about this. And he goes on and he says, once we have fully matured, that $700,000 will be very spendable because the TBC economy will be matured, and tens of millions of merchants will gladly accept TBC for payment for their goods and services at that time. It takes vision to see where we are going before we get there. But the receiver of this gift has very little to do to accept it and keep it. The receiver just needs to set up a simple Kringle Cash account and verify their email and pay the small $10 admin fee and migrate if needed. That's it, so simple. Okay, next paragraph. We are busy building a TBC economy right now. Okay, now I've already mentioned how Bitcoin has a small economy. They've got 12 million people using the Bitcoin, 12 million out of 7.6 billion. We have 3.2 million. So we're at a quarter of Bitcoin with users and people that own Kringles and billion coins. Okay. But if we grow, like I said, by 30 times again during a very explosive time with this new blockchain 2.0, if we still only grow by 30 times, which is what we grew last year during a very slow period. I mean, there was a couple of months where we couldn't even do transactions. It got so bad, okay, until they got that old system fixed while they were continuing to build the 2.0, and they started to allow some of us to transact again. And it gave the game, well, I'm not going to get into that. It just gave the admin a lot of opportunities to make some changes, really good changes that needed to be done. Okay, but so it was all good. But if we just grew 30 times again this next 12 months, we'd grow to 90 million. That's 7 times more than what Bitcoin has right now. And Bitcoin is growing slow because the people, again, don't have faith in a coin that goes up and down in value every day unless they understand it enough to where they get in and just put it in their wallet and they keep it. Okay, but I'm talking about merchants right now. Okay, merchants that, again, they can't use it, they just have to stick it in their wallets. But what if they could accept a coin? What if instead of 12 million Bitcoin users, there was 90 million Bitcoin users? Oh, you'd see a lot of more merchants involved. But again, it would take a long time for that to happen because that coin is on a trading market. It's always going to be volatile in its price. The billion coin, TBC, Kringle coins, they always go up in value. They never go down. Merchants can trust this coin, turn around and use it the next day. And it's going to be worth more the next day, and the next day, and the next day, the next week, and the next month, until it hits the maximum at our first billion members. Okay, so he goes on and says, many have used TBC already to purchase cars, lands, electronics, and many other things, as well as received services for TBC payment. But we are not anywhere near being a full-blown TBC economy at this time. Keep things in proper perspective and adjust expectations as needed. It's true, this handout gift doesn't do much today to help a poor person that receives it unless that poor person is already a good negotiator and can convert the coins gifted into things they need and want. Okay? Common sense, logic, that's what we do. That's what all coins do when they start out. Okay? Except they're all being put on the trading exchange, which makes it a little bit different. Makes it quicker and easier for somebody to actually make some money, but again, it doesn't help when it comes to being able to use it throughout the system that we're used to, just going in and flashing our card or our cash and buying or getting whatever we want done. You see what I'm saying? So that's what the Kringles and the TBC is all about. So he goes on and he says, but we have helped thousands of poor people already with a hand up within our TBC opportunity. Work equals pay. So yes, we are currently lifting the poor out of poverty, one person at a time. And we are only getting better and better at doing that. We are setting up the platform to end poverty. We cannot end poverty until we have completely set up the platform. The Kringle gift needs to be taken seriously. $700,000 US. Future value is very significant and life-changing. And I'll just add, for many, many people, that's life-changing amount of money. It seriously is. It doesn't seem like a lot of money, okay? But if you know how to manage your money, $700,000 US can be absolutely life-changing. And of course, that's for the better. Okay, so that's just one of the posts. And he's had posts that come out every day, not just one, but he could have multiple posts since the coin was created 2 years ago. Okay, so there's a wealth of post articles that you can go through from 2 years back and learn everything you could possibly imagine about the central banking system, money, currency, the differences between them, what TBC is compared to what Bitcoin and other coins are, just on and on and on. Okay, and you can go to blog.thebillioncoin.info or even thebillioncoin.info and get access to this. All the information you can want. It's down there below in the description of the video. Okay, so let me get out of sharing my screen and we'll wrap it up here. Okay. All right. I appreciate you guys listening to me and watching again today. In fact, let me go over and see if anybody is there. Is anybody there? Is anybody out there? Okay. Yes, my faithful people. I love you guys. Miss Medlock, thank you so much for coming. Stephen Cuffy, thank you so much. And if I can move my thing, I'm sure there's many others out there. Awesome dating site. See my profile. Now see, what are you going to do about somebody that comes on like that? Let's see if I can actually delete that from my end. Go to channel, report, remove. Oh, there's a remove button. Well, that didn't work. Oh, yeah, it did. Message deleted by Paul Fisher. That was cool. All right. Okay. I'm scheduled again. What is tomorrow? Tomorrow's Friday. Here's one of those weird days of the week again, Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. And I'll be back, God willing. Okay. Yesterday I had a last-minute doctor appointment. So it happens once in a while, right? So anyway, I should be here tomorrow. Same time, same place, same channel. So thanks, guys. I love you all. If you're new, please take the time, and it's just a little bit of time, to go and look at what we're doing, what we're all about. Get your questions answered right here on these live broadcasts. We do them 24/7, 24/7. Okay, you should find somebody live. And of course, even if they're not live, you can go back and click on the link and you'll find all this on thebillioncoin.info under the tab broadcasts. Okay, if you're new and you want to ask questions live. Otherwise, you can leave comments below, and when I get them, I'll answer them for you. And like I said, a lot of your questions would be answered just going through the information on the site, which won't take that long. It will show you the algorithm, it shows you the calculators, it shows you the mission statement, everything. That's another thing. We have an awesome system to come into our community. We really do vet our people. We have an automatic system that will bring in people that are like-minded and keep the unlike-minded people out. It's just amazing. And they won't ever spend a dime. Nobody will ever spend a dime unless they actually want to spend that $10 and get involved in our community. They're going to want it so bad, they'll go out and collect aluminum cans to get the $10. I'm not kidding you. It sounds funny, but I'm not kidding you. Plastic bottles, whatever. $10 is not that hard to come up with if you've got a motivation, right? And if you're thinking, which I didn't really mention, about, well, how can I get, a coin and really become this 2.8 billionaire? I need one full coin. Well, we have ways to give you one full coin without you having to spend anything more than $100. Well, 110. Okay. But again, that comes from admin. We don't discount the coin. We sell you $100 worth of Kringle at the value of that Kringle that day. But as a reward, you'll get 100 million cookies that will be redeemed for 100 million Kringles, which is one full coin. So you could turn $110 into 8.4 million right now. That will eventually be worth 2.8 billion. Or anytime you want. Anytime you've got an extra $100 laying around. If you want 2 coins, if you want to be even more wealthier because you want to help so much people out there that is what jazzes you, then you're welcome to buy $200 worth. Buy 1,000 if you've got 1,000 sitting around. Where else and when else have you ever seen leverage like this? And it's too good to be true, right? But guess what? It's actually true. And all you got to do to realize that is remember, technology changes everything. When technology comes out, it doesn't go away. When the light bulb was invented, it hasn't gone away, has it? It's only gotten better. That light bulb has gotten better. Do you see what I'm saying? The blockchain technology has come out. It's not going away. It's not disappearing. It's only going to get better. People, this is where we're going. Just like when the internet came out, it matured in 10 years. Steve Wozniak, I always mention him, the co-founder of Apple. He says that the cryptocurrency market will be matured in 10 years, just like the internet matured in 10 years. By the year 2000, you guys that are my age are old enough to realize what happened with that internet. I got involved with the internet, I think in 91 was when I first got online. If you got back in the beginning, you remember how crazy it was. We had to dial a phone and hear this bzz, and then connect to the internet. But, and we were using, what was it? AOL? I think it was AOL. But point was, by 2000, it was a whole nother animal. And then after 2000, oh my gosh, the search engines just started pouring in. Google, social media started coming. I mean, it just went crazy. There's no looking back. The internet's going to go on forever. The internet was the reason the blockchain platform and technology was created. Okay? It's not going away. Never is. It's just going to improve. The world is going to change. It changes every time something technology comes out. Okay? So believe it. Okay? But you don't have to take my word for it. You can go do the research on your own. And it's well worth your time to do it because you know there's poverty. And you know deep down inside there shouldn't be. Okay? That poverty is there because of some very selfish individuals, very greedy individuals, and a few very, very evil individuals. I mean, when you have only 2,200 billionaires, out of 7.6 billion people on the earth? You think those 2,200 billionaires are all good people? No, they're not. There's very few of them that are. Very few that are good. That's the problem. That's reality. If you're living in a bubble, put a foot back out of that bubble and get it on the ground. That will be the beginning. Then get your other foot out of the bubble and put it on the ground. And you'll be fine. Okay? You'll be better. Okay? We want you to be a part of our mission to eliminate global financial poverty and bring the world back into the people's hands for the first time in history. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Love you guys. See you tomorrow.